And I want to begin by painting a picture for you of a typical night in West. It was a beautiful spring day on August 16, 2013. This is a picture of my wife and daughter on senior night at the ball field as they were going up to be recognized for Mackenzie's last year of playing ball. But in less than 24 hours, our community would be rocked by 28 tons of ammonium nitrate fertilizer that exploded at the West Fertilizer plant. This is a picture of the nursing home, and that lady worked at the nursing home. And she actually took care of my wife's grandfather, and unfortunately, my wife's grandfather was one of the fatalities. This is a picture of the actual blast site. Now, I may get some of these numbers a little bit off, but I'm in the neighborhood here. The blast crater was roughly 100 feet across, about 15 feet deep. There were about 28 tons of ammonium nitrate fertilizer that exploded. There was talk for a period, the night of the explosion, of evacuating the entire town. We'll get choked up a little bit. When bad things happen, God sends people in many, many ways. And some of the people that He sent respond immediately. We had people all the way from Oklahoma. Nations came to take care of their people, and included in those organizations was the pool. And I can tell you that whenever you lose your ability to shelter your family, to clothe your family, to feed your family, to have someone to come in and lend a hand and give some guidance means everything. The pool responded to this disaster, and you did a good job.
Find contact Joey Pachowski, so I gave him a call that night just to let him know, hey, I left a message. Hey, we're on our way. We'll be down in the morning to help you out. On the way up to West the following morning, I got a call from Les to give me an update on the situation. Les told me that Joey had died in the blast. Besides being the city secretary, Joey also served as a volunteer firefighter. He was one of the first to respond to the fire at the fertilizer plant.
There were 9 fatalities that were covered under the pool's policies for workers' compensation benefits. That's the most in pool history. Prior
to leaving, it was also the day of the funerals. That was very hard. It was hard talking to the city people that day. And you might have seen a picture of it, but the fire trucks had their ladders up and they had flags hanging over the intersection when we were leaving. And I knew then that I was so glad I worked at Tmlirp because I was able to work with other people to help the city out. It gave me a purpose, and it made me really feel good about my job and the people that I work with.
To transition into working with FEMA, you're working closely with DPS and TDM, and when FEMA arrives, it's a whole nother experience. So I was able to pass on my experience with FEMA, and I even said I'd be more than happy to speak with FEMA and see what I could do to help. And you start debris management, debris removal. How are we going to take care of that? Finance. FEMA's are reimbursable. At the mayor, at some point, the council will be saying, who's going to pay for this? How is this going to be funded? So we discussed available finance. And of course, our discussions at some point in time began to talk about. I got my contact information through to the West City Attorney, and he did call me. He called me on a Saturday morning, and I told him what my personal experience was, and I wanted to know all about him, how he was feeling, what he was experiencing, and what can I do to help.